Beyond this world, there is a world, there is a world I want. Beyond this world, there is a world, there is a world I want. I choose to see that world instead of this. For here is nothing that I really want. The world I see holds nothing that I want. Beyond this world, there is a world, there is a world I want. Beyond this world, there is a world, there is a world I want. Sounds like old Tom Turkey's wanting to sing along with me today. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. I'm Miracle Willie, forgiveness teacher from the Ozarks, and I'm so glad you've come to join me in studying lesson 129. And we'll be in the text reading, chapter 14, section 9, the reflection of holiness, here on Wednesday, May the 8th of 2024, and we're reading from the edition published by Foundation for Inner Peace. It is impossible to see two worlds. That's tomorrow's. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. This is the thought that follows from the one we practiced yesterday. And yesterday, did you say every hour yesterday? This will not tempt me to delay myself. The world I see holds nothing that I want. Or at least use that whenever temptation comes along, and try to go for every hour to think about the idea. The world I see holds nothing that I want. What a day! Beyond this world, there is a world I want. This is the thought that follows from the one we practiced yesterday. You cannot stop with the idea the world is worthless, for unless you see that there is something else to hope for, you will only be depressed. Well, I hope you didn't get depressed yesterday. And if you did, well, at least it was just yesterday. Let's go on today and see that there's nothing in the world that we value because there's something we value more. Let's let that reality that Jesus taught us 2,000 years ago, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Let's let that come into focus today. Our emphasis is not on giving up the world, but on exchanging it for what is far more satisfying, filled with joy, and capable of offering you peace. Think you this world can offer that to you? It might be worth a little time to think once more about the value of this world. Perhaps you will concede there is no loss in letting go all thought of value here. The world you see is merciless indeed, unstable, cruel, unconcerned with you, quick to avenge, and pitiless with hate. It gives but to rescind, and takes away all things that you have cherished for a while. No lasting love is found, for none is here. This is the world of time, where all things end. Is it a loss to find a world instead where losing is impossible, where love endures forever, hate cannot exist, and vengeance has no meaning? Is it lost to find all things you really want and know they have no ending, and they will remain exactly as you want them throughout time? Yet even they will be exchanged at last for what we cannot speak of. For you go from there to where words fail entirely, into a silence where the language is unspoken, and yet surely understood. The language is unspoken, yet surely understood. Telepathy is what kind of language we speak in the world beyond, where we understand everything's completely understood, nothing's hidden. Communication, unambiguous and plain as day, remains unlimited for all eternity, and God Himself speaks to His Son, as His Son speaks to Him. Their language has no words, for what they say cannot be symbolized. Their knowledge is direct and wholly shared and wholly one. How far away from this you who stay bound to this world? How far away from this are you who stay bound to this world? And yet how near are you when you exchange it for the world you want? Now is the last step certain. Now you stand an instant space away from timelessness. Here can you but look forward, never back, to see again the world you do not want. Here is the world that comes to take its place. As you unbind your mind from little things the world sets forth to keep you prisoner, value them not, and they will disappear. Esteem them, and they will seem real to you. Such is the choice, to either value the world you see or value the world that you cannot see with these eyes, but you can see with the eyes of the heart, as the Holy Spirit directs. That's your choice. What loss can be for you in choosing not to value nothingness? Put it that way, we can look beyond the world. What loss can be for you in choosing not to value nothingness? This world holds nothing that you really want, but what you choose instead you want indeed. Let it be given you today. It waits but for your choosing it to take the place of all the things you seek but do not want. Practice your willingness to make this change 10 minutes in the morning and at night, and once more in between. Begin with this. Beyond this world there is a world I want. I choose to see that world instead of this, for here is nothing that I really want. Then close your eyes upon the world you see, and in the silent darkness watch the lights that are not of this world light one by one, until where one begins, another ends, loses all meaning as they blend in one. Today the lights of heaven bend to you to shine upon your eyelids as you rest beyond the world of darkness. Here is light your eyes cannot behold, and yet your mind can see it plainly and can understand. A day of grace is given you today, and we give thanks. This day we realize that what you feared to lose was only loss. Now do we understand there is no loss, for we have seen its opposite at last, and we are grateful that the choice is made. Remember your decision hourly, and take a moment to confirm your choice by laying by whatever thoughts you have and dwelling briefly only upon this. The world I see holds nothing that I want. Beyond this world there is a world I want. And of course you can say that if you encounter some temptation to not be cheerful. The world I see holds nothing that I want. Beyond this world there is a world I want. Okay, so you'll do your, what's he say? Practice your willingness to make this change 10 minutes in the morning and at night, and once more in between. Begin with this. Beyond this world there is a world I want. I choose to see that world instead of this, for here is nothing that I really want. Then close your eyes upon the world you see, and in the silent darkness watch the lights that are not of this world light one by one, until where one begins, another ends, loses all meaning as they blend in one. The lights are going to come on in your mind. You're going to begin to have visions and see what you couldn't see as long as you were living in a world where you thought value is in what these eyes see. And valuing death and guilt and pain and trying to protect yourself. Oh, the invulnerable Son of God trying to protect himself instead of just trusting in the Holy Spirit's guidance, knowing that you will always have everything you need to be happy and safe and cheerful. So many times today, every hour anyway, tell yourself, this world, the world I see holds nothing that I want. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Let this day that prayer be answered. Okay, the reflection of holiness. And like I said, that's in chapter 14, section 9. Before we read that, let me tell you a little bit about what's going on around the world. Out of holidays and observances, donate a day's wages to charity. That sounds like a nice thing to do. Emancipation Day in Columbus, Mississippi. Free Trade Day. Iris Day. Yeah, the irises are all in bloom. I probably should have sat in front of some irises today. National Coconut Cream Pie Day. National Empanada Day. National Give Someone a Cupcake Day. National Night Shift Workers Day. National Receptionists Day. National Root Canal Appreciation Day. National School Nurse Day. National Student Nurses Day. National Third Shift Workers Day. Of course, that'd be the same as National Night Shift Workers Day. Thank you all that work in the nights so that we can have some of our needs met during the night. You know, it takes people to work to keep our electricity running. So thank you all. National Walk, Bike, and Roll to School Day. Truman Day. Harry Truman. World Facilities Management Day. White Lotus Day. World Ovarian Cancer Day. And World Red Cross Day. Thank the Red Cross for all their good they do around the world. In edible landscaping, we have the King David apple. A nice name. Look what he says of it. King David, which is a Malus species, according to edible landscaping, so they're not convinced that it's just a domestica. It may have been crossed with one of those other 30. And SPP does mean plural for species, not species. Okay, so the King David is an heirloom apple that was discovered in 1893 growing on the farm of Ben Frost in Durham, Arkansas. It is thought to be either a cross of Jonathan and Arkansas Black or a cross of Jonathan and Winesap. King David is extremely disease resistant. Fruit is medium size and round in shape. Flesh is pale cream yellow, firm and crunchy with an incredible flavor. Michael, the founder of Edible Landscaping, says it is the most delicious apple I ever ate. Has been reported to do well to zone 10 with low chill hour conditions needed, but we suggest zones 4 through 8. Okay, the King David apple. You know what? Since King David was the king of Israel, let's just use our word for peace in Hebrew, which is shalom. And let's see, what do we have? In Permaculture for Beginners by Carrie Mitchell, Chapter 8, Creating a Composting System. Her conclusion page, first paragraph, she says, achieving success in permaculture is not a straightforward process. The many considerations need to be considered as to what will work for you and your personal Garden of Eden. So learning is imperative to have a sustainable and thriving home site. So if you're embarking on the journey of permaculture, it's going to require lots of study, looking at nature, looking at what plants do well and how they grow and what would work best, in what proximity and how to work the soil. Lots to learn. It's a lifetime project, which we gladly undertake because we like to keep eating all our life. Okay, beyond this world, there is a world I want. And like I said, chapter 14, section 9, thank you, Mr. Gobbler, the reflection of holiness. And of course, keep in mind today, the world I see holds nothing that I want. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. The reflection of holiness. The atonement does not make holy. You were created holy. It merely brings unholiness to holiness. or what you made to what you are. You were created holy, and that's how you are. So we're going to bring what we made, unholiness, the belief in sin and death and sickness and pain and separation, and we're going to bring that to holiness, what we are. I am as God created me, and so are you. Bringing illusions to truth or the ego to God is the Holy Spirit's only function. Keep not your making from your Father, for hiding it has cost you knowledge of Him and of yourself. The knowledge is safe, but where is your safety apart from it? The making of time to take the place of timelessness lay in the decision to be not as you are. The truth was made past, and the present was dedicated to illusions. The truth was made past, and the present was dedicated to illusion. And the past too was changed and interposed between what always was and now. The past that you remember never was, and represents only the denial of what always was. It's starting to rain. Let me pull my pack in here a little closer. Paragraph 2, bringing the ego to God is but to bring error to truth, where it stands corrected because it is opposite of what it meets. It is undone because the contradiction can no longer stand. How long can contradiction stand when its impossible nature is clearly revealed? What disappears in light is not attacked. It merely vanishes because it is not true. Different realities are meaningless, for reality must be one. It cannot change with time or mood or chance. Its changelessness is what makes it real. This cannot be undone. Undoing is for unreality, and this reality will do for you. Paragraph 3. Merely by being what it is does truth release you from everything that it is not. The atonement is so gentle you need but whisper to it, and all its power will rush to your assistance and support. You are not frail with God beside you, yet without Him you are nothing. The atonement offers you God. The gift that you refused is held by Him in you. The Holy Spirit holds it there for you. God has not left His altar, though His worshippers placed other gods upon it. The temple still is holy, for the presence that dwells within it is holiness. So you might have put other gods on the altar to God, but it's still holy, and you can remove those because it's just a thought. It's an error of thinking. And the Holy Spirit will help free you from that error when you just walk in the light. In the temple, holiness waits quietly for the return of them that love it. In the temple, holiness waits quietly for the return of them that love it. The presence knows they will return to purity and to grace. The graciousness of God will take them gently in and cover all their sense of pain and loss with the immortal assurance of their Father's love. Their fear of death will be replaced with joy of life. That's what we want. The fear of death to be replaced by the joy of life, the resurrection. Their fear of death will be replaced with joy of life. For God is life, and they abide in life. Life is as holy as the holiness by which it was created. The presence of holiness lives in everything that lives. For holiness created life, and leaves not what it created holy as itself. In this world you can become a spotless mirror, in which the holiness of your Creator shines forth from you to all around you. You can reflect heaven here, yet no reflection of the images of other gods must dim the mirror that would hold God's reflection in it. Earth can reflect heaven or hell, God or the ego. You need but leave the mirror clean and clear of all the images of hidden darkness you have drawn upon it. God will shine upon it of Himself. Only clear the reflection of Only the clear reflection of himself can be perceived upon it. So we're going to reflect God's love in what we're seeing. We just want to be a clear mirror, so when God's love comes to us, it reflects back in what we see. And eventually he's going to explain that's the first step, is being a good reflection. Reflections are seen in light. In darkness they are obscure, and their meaning seems to lie only in shifting interpretations rather than in themselves. The reflection of God needs no interpretation. It is clear. Clean but the mirror, or remove the blocks to the awareness of love's presence on your altar. Do the lesson for today. Beyond this world, there's a world I want. See that world. Don't be caught up in the world of guilt. The reflection of God needs no interpretation. It is clear. Clean but the mirror, and the message that shines forth from what the mirror holds out for everyone to see, no one can fail to understand. It is the message that the Holy Spirit is holding to the mirror that is in him. He recognizes it because he has been taught his need for it, but knows not where to look to find it. Let him then see it in you and share it with you. So your brothers are looking for it, but you can be an example. Let God's love reflect back to them so they can see that, wow, I guess he doesn't value guilt. I guess I could not value guilt, and learn to see God too. Be a good mirror. Reflect only what God's sending to you. Don't distort it with interpretations that are not fit for the altar of God's Holy Son. Could you but realize for a single instant the power of healing that the reflection of God shining in you can bring to all the world, you could not wait to make the mirror of your mind clean to receive the image of the holiness that heals the world. Let's read that again. Could you but realize for a single instant the power of healing that the reflection of God shining in you can bring to all the world, you would not wait to make the mirror of your mind clean to receive the image of the holiness that heals the world. The image of holiness that shines in your mind is not obscure and will not change. Its meaning to those who look upon it is not obscure, for everyone perceives it as the same. All bring their different problems to its healing light, and all their problems find but healing there. Isn't that sweet? All bring their different problems to its healing light, and all their problems find but healing there. And the last paragraph, 8. The response of holiness to any form of error is always the same. There is no contradiction in what holiness calls forth. Its one response is healing. Wow, holiness is one response is healing, without regard for what is brought to it. So it's the response of holiness to any form of error is always the same. There is no contradiction in what holiness calls forth. Its one response is healing, without regard for what is brought to it. Those who have learned to offer only healing because of the reflection of holiness in them are ready at last for heaven. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Their holiness is not a reflection, but rather the actual condition of what was but reflected to them here. God is no image, and his creations as part of him hold him in them in truth. God is no image, and his creations as part of him hold them in truth. I'm going to get it one more time in that sentence. God is no image, and his creations as part of him hold him in them in truth. Hold him in them in truth. They do not merely reflect truth, for they are truth. Wow, bringing what we made to what we are. We're one in God. We're truth. Okay, well, you know what to do. Your 3 10-minute practice periods. And for you night workers, shift your days, whatever's morning to you. Do it in the morning, and then again midday, and then before you go to sleep at night or in the morning, depending on what time your sleep schedule is. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. Practice your willingness to make this change 10 minutes in the morning and at night, and once more in between. Practice, begin with your practice by saying, beyond this world, there is a world I want. I choose to see that world instead of this, for here is nothing that I really want. Then close your eyes upon the world you see, and in the silent darkness, watch the lights that are not of this world light one by one, until where one begins, another ends, loses all meaning as they blend in one, as vision comes on in your mind. Remember your decision hourly and take a moment to confirm your choice by laying by whatever thoughts you have and dwelling briefly only upon this. The world I see holds nothing that I want. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. I choose to see that world instead of this. For here is nothing that I really want. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. The world I see has nothing, holds nothing that I really want. The world I see holds nothing, holds nothing that I want. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. The world I see holds nothing that I want. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. I choose to see that world instead of this. For here is nothing that I really want. The world I see holds nothing that I really want. The world I see holds nothing that I want. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. Tell yourself every hour of the day today. The world I see holds nothing that I want. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. Shalom.